Hello and welcome to Six Pack Cinema. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode. As you saw from the title, we are discussing Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie all about Freddie Mercury and the band Queen, starring Rami Malek. Hope I got that name right because this is the second try. Let's get into it.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so movie review.
All right, thank you guys very much for joining. Either you're a first-time listener who has seen Bohemian Rhapsody and just searching the podcast app. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what people think. Or you listen to Six Pack Cinema and you're back, and we thank you either way for joining us. We've got me, Jimmy, John, Dave, all hanging out, ready to discuss this movie. If you're a first-time listener, how it works is we're going to talk about our gut feeling. We're going to talk about the movie in general. Then we're going to give some ratings. We're going to go popcorn rating out of 5, critical rating out of 100, what we would pair with this as our drinks, and some other fun stuff. Here we go. I'm going to throw it to Dave first. Gut feeling.
I was so disappointed in this movie. For a movie about Freddie Mercury, who is like the epitome of excess and extravagance and going all out and being unique, this felt like such a sanitized and by-the-numbers biopic that was also horribly inaccurate.
John?
Okay, I went into this very excited, extremely, really, expectations were too high. I will say I was disappointed with, the first 45 minutes of it, half hour to 45 minutes of it. I imagine it's like a really great sandwich with all the awesome pieces that you really want to eat, but somebody took it and mashed it into the size of your fist, and nobody wants to eat that anymore. It was just too much good stuff that was cramped and stupidly put together that they didn't really even need. There was a great movie in there somewhere if they just left half of it on the editing room floor.
All right, so you went in with high expectations. As if you've listened to the show, we knew that, which was odd because you're the only one I knew. Actually, I guess the general public went in with high expectations. I didn't. I didn't go in with high expectations at all. I left the theater happy, but this movie wasn't great. It just had the benefit of its third act being a great concert. You take out the Live Aid concert, and that's just a concert reenactment.
Which was awesome, though.
Which was
love
awesome.
That they never cut away.
They nailed the
did
concert reenactment. But everything before that was so bland and choppy and boring. It was like its crutch because I walked out and I got a little teary-eyed, just from that Live Aid concert. But if you take that out, which they didn't have to write a thing, they literally just watched the concert and then redid the concert. So I don't even give them credit for doing a good job.
Well, they set up a good story leading up to that point. The whole why the concert was so great was because, and we're going to ignore real life for a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have to discuss about that, though.
Yeah,
I wrote down all of the
problems, but
that I know.
So leading up to this amazing concert was okay. Well, he was spiraling out of control. He left the band. He was amazing line. He says, "When you're truly rotten, all the fruit flies come." I died laughing. Great pairing. It's the buildup of getting back together with the band. He's dying. He's losing his voice, and you don't know if he's going to make it through this concert without cracking. You see the manager bump up the volume because he can't sing the way he used to be. That was all build up to this amazing concert, and the concert doesn't have the same feeling without the build up. It was a great movie from the point where he got his own house with the weird-ass party to the end.
Oh.
If they just came in on that one.
Oh. Great. Yeah, I don't agree.
Okay, well, that's fine. Right.
But, Dave, I'm interested to hear the inaccuracies first.
The inaccuracies. And I'm
can we avoid the inaccuracies to the end? Let's talk about the movie as a whole first.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Here's
yes, that's fair. I'll also say I did not let the inaccuracies judge my scores because I'm just trying to judge the movie as it is.
Okay, good.
But it was also driving me nuts, knowing things were clearly not right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple problems.
Okay.
And I hate just listening. I was trying to think of some good things to counterbalance this, but whatever. I'll sound like an asshole. I know that his haircut and his teeth were bad in real life, but the teeth distracted me from the movie.
Yes, I agree with
and
that.
And the faces he made really distracted me from the movie. And maybe you could say, well, they were distracting when you tried to watch Freddie Mercury in real life. It's like, yeah, maybe, but I don't care. Either way, it was a distraction in the movie. I was like, what the fuck? Come on. Because it felt like...
I think you're right that it was distracting when you tried to watch Freddie Mercury in real life. But I also think his talent was so good that you could get past that when he was performing, which is why my favorite parts are when they're actually performing music in the movie, and you don't really notice that.
My biggest critique, and this is like a critical critique that I think is... I haven't seen reviews, so I don't know, is I never lost Rami Malek and saw him as Freddie Mercury. I never thought I was watching Freddie Mercury. And like... James Franco in the movie what's the movie?
The Room.
Disaster Artist.
Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about how much we lost James Franco completely, and we were just watching that dude, that weird dude, and we're like, I never had that. I don't know if he's getting credited for doing a great performance. It very much seemed like dress up to me, and a kid in dress up doing.
I lost him when they were performing.
Yeah,
when he was on stage singing.
That too, and I also lost him when they switched to like the '80s style Freddie Mercury, and he had the shorter hair and the mustache.
That was much better.
Yes, I thought from that point on he was Freddie Mercury to me, but it was
the long hair Freddie Mercury was god awful.
Yes.
Yeah, I just kept thinking this is Rami Malek doing Freddie Mercury and not, okay, I'm watching Freddie Mercury now, which is like, it's a hard task, but even like Leo, who's, Leo, or Tom Hanks, Tom Hanks, you can lose them in a role soon. That's what makes them fantastic actors. Mm-hmm. So he never did that for me, which was annoying. Not annoying, but it was kind of disappointing.
I think they tried to lay on the physical attributes a little too thick. Namely, you brought up the teeth, and the hair. They were trying to nail that too much. But Rami Malek, he looks weird in general, just like Queen or Freddie Mercury looked weird in general. You just need to get the gist of it. You need to have the actor play a role, not pretend to be like a costume, like he's wearing a costume. If he was just who he was without the stupid ass buck teeth, I think you would have had an easier time.
Yeah,
getting lost in it.
While I'm giving my unpopular opinions out, I'm going to throw another one that makes me sound like a real old grouch jerk face.
Okay, what is it?
Mike Myers plays the character that turns them down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh shit! I didn't even realize that.
Well,
yeah.
So then
now I see it. Now I see it.
You didn't even pick up on this, John, because there's Mike Myers says this is not the type of song friends will drive around town singing along.
Oh my god!
And that was
Wayne.
a direct shot at Wayne's World, because they made Bohemian Rhapsody really popular back in 1992 after it fell off the charts. And I hate when serious movies do this meta shit. Like, do your movie. In this movie, Wayne's World's not around. So, like, I hate that poking at the audience.
And that's, I agree with you.
It takes away from the serious tone of the movie. Pisses me off.
If that was like something that actually happened, I could kind of get over it. But they made up that character. That was never a real person in their lives.
Yeah,
well, that's the point. They made it up just to shoehorn Mike Myers in and shoehorn that meta joke. It was.
Yeah.
If it was, I don't know. If he said if friends are going to sit around in the basement and pretend they have a TV show, then I wouldn't be pissed off. But I mean, everyone belted this song out in the car.
Yeah, but I know
it's directly to him, but I don't know. And plus it went over my head, so obviously job well done on them.
Unless you're a straight comedy, don't do like meta breaking the fourth wall. Don't break the fourth wall unless you're a straight comedy or it's your thing. Like you're a break the fourth wall movie, like that one about the housing crisis and all that shit.
All right, yeah. If I hearing about it secondhand after the fact, I like it a lot more. If I had known when it was happening, I probably would have the same reaction. I was like, well, it takes me out of it a little bit.
I will say, while we're talking about the song Bohemian Rhapsody, I did like when they finally got it on the radio and they just started showing all the actual reviews from people when the song came out. I like that.
Nope. I hated that shit. I was The whole time when they did that, and also showing where they were touring, I was like, who the fuck was in charge of the Excel sheet or the PowerPoint? It was like a star wipe PowerPoint we were watching. I hated it so much.
I didn't like the editing either.
Oh, that's one of the few things I gave it like points for. Is I love the editing in the movie.
Oh, it was so weird, so weird.
It was very much like a high school kid just learned about like a new editing trick.
Star wipe.
Well, it was all like 80s style graphics.
I know, but we're not in the 80s, you know? So
But the movie's like supposed to
takes place in the 80s, wasn't
symbolize-
made in the
yeah.
80s.
If they had 80 style graphics, like grainy and like kind of fuzzy, yeah, maybe I could buy into it. But it was like
But they
pristine.
did.
It was
anytime
IMAX
there was
quality.
like a star, no, anytime there was like star wipes and they were showing like them like touring, it was shittier
But-
80s style graphics and like
No,
grainy maps and stuff like that.
But not like the like, oh, we're in Puerto Rico, oh, we're in Peru, oh, we're wherever the fuck we are. That was not grainy. That was pure IMAX amazingness. It was crisp and clear.
Oh, I didn't see it in IMAX. It looked grainy in the theater I saw it in.
I like the shot when they're touring in America and it's really wide on the road and the first bus drives past them and then it goes through the front windshield of the second bus all the way through the bus to them sitting in the back. I thought that was a cool shot.
That was great.
Mm-hmm.
The things I liked. What else do we have before we move to inaccuracies?
I mean, we talked about the beginning. Groundbreaking moment for me was when I found out that Freddie Mercury was an Indian.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I had no idea. And also, I mean, this is less or so, I had no idea he was married to a woman.
Yeah, there were. We'll get to
that's
that
more
in accuracy.
that's more believable because that was just what gays did back then. But being Indian floored me at the beginning. Couldn't believe it.
Well, he's not Indian, right? He was something else.
He's
Basically
Pakistani.
Indian. He wasn't Pakistani. He was in that vicinity though.
Oh,
Yeah.
They kept calling him a Paki, so I assumed it was
Yeah.
Pakistani.
He was like Indian-based family that moved to South Africa.
Oh,
who who then moved to London. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. He is a. I mean, I always thought he was just like a straight up gay white guy.
Yeah,
from the 80s.
I had no idea. Dave, my question is a two-part question. It leads in. My least favorite part of the movie was the drama with the friend, the Irish guy.
The band manager.
Well, he wasn't the manager. He was like the band. It was like
He was
the,
the day-to-day guy.
He was like Freddie's manager.
He was the handler.
Kinda.
yeah, whatever he was. That whole part when like that guy was taking control. I wish they left that out. And I wish is that accurate? Is that a real character?
That's a real person, and it wasn't to like the level of that. The rest of the band didn't like him, but he was just Freddie's friend who was around. All right, let's just get into the inaccuracies. So that guy was around, but he wasn't like Freddie's handler at all.
Buckle up, Jimmy. This is gonna ruin it for you.
All right, Freddie never had AIDS until after Live Aid.
No, he was not diagnosed.
For like 3 years.
2
at
years,
that time
87. But still, he
wait.
had the symptoms of it, but he was not. So the whole build-up for the Live Aid drama didn't exist.
Freddie, when he played Live Aid, he didn't know he had AIDS.
He did not know it.
Or
He wasn't diagnosed.
What a fucking insult to my
no,
brain.
hang on.
I shed
There's
tears
still-
because I thought he was singing as a dead man.
It changes everything, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that ruined it.
That drops
Ruins the
like
movie.
10% off my whole fucking critical score. Go fuck yourself, this movie. I
Okay,
cried
so-
tears.
You lied to me. This movie lied to me.
So when he's
Next
playing
one?
the piano and he opens up with like I wish I wasn't born at all, I'm so mad.
I think he had a hint that he had AIDS, early AIDS, maybe a hint of AIDS. I think it was on his brain.
I'm livid. Tell me what else.
I can see it.
Having AIDS. The band never broke up. They released an album the year before Live Aid and were on tour for 8 months the same year as Live Aid.
So the whole not playing beforehand,
Yeah,
they
well,
were
that was-
playing
Did they ever
for
break
9
up?
months straight.
Did they ever break up ever? And then
No,
get
they
back
never
together?
broke up. They were recording music to weeks before he died. They never broke up. They took a couple years off. He did release a solo album, but he is the last member of Queen to release a solo album. The rest
Yeah.
of them all did it first.
The drummer was the first one, like way early in their career. Excuse me.
He also, so his wife, they remained married until he died, But even after like he came out to her and they separated, they never had a falling out. She was his personal assistant and probably more of his handler than the other guy was.
Jimmy's like he's rocked right now.
They also
pissed.
portrayed the rest of the band as like family guys and tired of Freddie's lifestyle. They were all equally as into it, and Roger was the drummer. He was more of like a sex and drug addict than Freddie.
Well, they hinted at that heavily.
But like he was the one who's like, I have a family, Freddie. And like
Yeah.
wanting to leave the party, where like they
Well,
would never
I mean-
leave Freddie's. Like they were at all of his parties. They were staying there. They were all cheating on their wives. They're all.
I'll give you a
rock
few
stars
guesses.
did.
I'll give you a few guesses as the the three producers of this movie were.
Yes.
Yeah.
This movie was just Brian Mays trashing on Freddie Mercury to like have a revisionist history.
I wouldn't say he's trashing on him. I think he made it more dramatic and it was much more dramatic, hence
Yeah.
Jimmy's tears. But
Also,
I wouldn't
alright.
say trashed him. No.
I'm trying to like not do nitpicky stuff like songs that they placed like in order just weren't made in the same order.
Yeah, that was one of my big notes. Is like this makes it seem like these like humongous hits they made were like haphazardly like accidental. Like, oh, we're just gonna get up here, bum bum, psh, boom. That's a good little tune. Let's do this. Come on. No,
No,
it,
yeah, but
I
they
have
also
to
had
believe
them
it worked.
coming out in like wrong years and wrong tours.
Yep.
They made it seem like Freddie just stumbled on the band and had never performed in a band. He was in a band before Smile, which became Queen, and they used to like play shows together all the time.
He was best friends with the former lead singer. That's
That
like
one's
when he
not
just
as.
left.
That one's fine. That one's fine. I'll allow that one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
But I'm pretty upset. So
Am I missing any, Shane?
Yeah,
Those were the ones like off the top of my head.
the AIDS one is huge.
That it is. That like I said, it ruins the ending. The reason why the concert was so amazing was the build-up because of the AIDS. And since you displaced that 2 years, it's not so much anymore.
Oh, and those like 2 years he was in, or a year and a half he was in Germany, like recording his stuff and partying and getting out of hand. The entire band was there with him in real life. So this is a very bad biopic.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. All right. I have some things about like Queen itself, just things I learned that changed my mind on Queen. Like all the making of the song scenes, I love that stuff. I love music biopics when you find out like what was going on in their life, what made the songs. And like all of Queen's songs are nothing personal. They're just let's make
Well, no, he really loved his car.
Also, they never played Fat Bottom Girls, which Brian Mays wrote about all the girls he slept with while they were touring.
Yeah.
No, they played that.
Did they? I don't remember it. In the movie.
They played Bicycle.
Get
They
on
played
your
Flat Bottom
your
Girls.
bikes and ride. They just didn't play
That was-
the chorus. They played the
That was
verse.
Bicycle.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Go.
Yeah.
I think that's two different songs because I used Fat Bottom
Maybe.
Girls. I used Fat Bottom Girls on the radio show, and I think they said "Get on your bikes and ride." But anyway, none of their songs are personal or about anything. They're just stadium anthems, which is cool. I like singing along to them, but I'm not like
No,
into Queen
the
anymore.
love song.
Yeah, he did write that about Mary.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
was-
one. But all the others were like, let's just make music that the crowd will like, which is cool. It's admirable.
I think
in a
Bohemian
different way.
Rhapsody was a look into Freddie Mercury's life.
No.
No.
I think it was very Mac from It's Always Sunny. It was artistic.
Yes. I also the other thing is I didn't realize that the rest of the band. I'm always just watching Freddie. Their outfits are phenomenal. Like
Oh my God,
what
right?
the
Oh,
other band's outfits wore on Live Aid are so floored awesome. What the dude who just did the Jim Halpert impression the entire movie?
The
The
bassist?
bassist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what else you'll know him from?
The Pacific.
He is the boy in Jurassic Park.
Oh no shit!
He's Tim.
He's the coder from Social Network, but I didn't realize he was
Is
Tim.
Oh shit! I didn't realize he was in that.
He's everywhere.
He
What a
just
legend
did Jim
he is.
Halpert face this entire movie.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's also the only member of Queen, or like the only living member of Queen that's not in Queen anymore. He retired a couple years after Freddie died. The rest are still touring as Queen.
Yeah. I love how like Freddie went for like the complete like gay scene, like diva, and then the guitarist was like, I'm never leaving the 80s. This is my hair. I was born this way, and he still looks that way. And the bassist there went with like the serious like 80s like alternative look, just wearing windbreaker, puffy hair. They were wildly different spectrums, but they all played together. It was great.
Yeah, I did like that they were like, we're a group of misfits playing for the other misfits. That felt true to Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're four people that don't belong together. Like that felt true, but
It worked.
I still hate everything else now.
We just ruined this movie for you.
The actor
we
that
did.
played
I
Brian
feel like I
May-
should have told you this after you ranked it. So when
See, that's why I want to do. It's like to save this for afterwards, but I'm glad we did it right now.
The actor that played Brian May, is that his son? Because it looks just like him.
I know. Right?
They,
No, it's not
they
him.
all look just like the person. And I'll say, I know you said their Live Aid wardrobe was great, but I thought the costumes throughout the entire movie were fantastic.
Freddie's
It
was
felt very-
amazing.
Yes, everything felt very period piece to me.
Loved it.
All right. Well,
I'm
I am
so disappointed
basic-
because Freddie has a famous quote where he says, "If you ever make a movie about me, just don't make it boring." And I think
I
the
don't
movie
think
is
it was boring. I don't think it was
he
boring.
would find it boring.
No, because now looking back at how it really went down, they ramped up the drama for him substantially.
But they made him
They
into
lied.
like the bad guy there, and
But
also
they didn't make him the bad guy.
I don't
he was
like
led
Freddie
down the
Mercury.
bad
This
road
movie
by
made
bad
me.
guys.
This movie made me like Freddie Mercury less.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely portrayed as the bad guy for the second act.
Oh no, I mean I was with him. I understood.
But also,
Sometimes you just gotta party your ass off, man.
we don't need to get like crazy political, but the fact that they don't touch on his debaucherous side as much as they could have. I mean, it's Freddie Mercury. You got to talk about the fact that he's sleeping around and doing drugs besides more than just a couple of shots of a table with some dried cocaine on it.
Oh, I don't think they hid that at all. I mean,
It needed to be
it was-
more prevalent.
it was very apparent, like when he was sober and not. It was very apparent that there was guys coming in and out of his apartment at all
And
times.
he also didn't identify as gay. In real
No,
life.
he's bi.
Yeah, he identified as bi for the rest of his life. He slept with men and women.
Yeah, he said that in the movie. Yep.
I know, but then they were like,
Check that
no,
box.
you're gay, and then he's only with men after that. I just feel like if you're going to do a movie for Freddie Mercury, do it accurately.
All right. Well, let's go into ratings and reviews.
Okay.
Does anyone want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go first.
What
Okay.
What do you want to? Yeah.
We're doing popcorn first, so out of 5.
All right. I'm going to find myself rewatching this one when it comes back out because there's so much little details in there that they were just good. There are a lot of good moments, and yes, I'm going to give it 4 popcorns. I was excited watching it. You cried, damn it! Don't tell me it wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah, fucking betrayable tears. I take those all.
But this is before you know the real. We're voting and deciding on a movie right now, not like a movie portrayal of the real life.
Yes.
I will
agree with
agree
that.
that the new information will not go into my popcorn score. Definitely goes into critical.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. Fine.
My popcorn is also a 4. I think it's not a good movie, but it's an enjoyable movie. I will watch this again, probably on an airplane. This feels like a great airplane movie.
Mine is a 4. I wanted to do 3.5, but that would be a lie, so it's a 4.
How about that? Cross the board. Interesting.
Nice.
I feel good about that.
I didn't like the act. Man, I didn't like how every time they wrote a song, we couldn't just see them writing the song in the studio, and they had to cross-stitch it and make a music video of them playing the final song while writing it. You know what I mean?
I didn't hate that.
I like that. Yeah.
I like the behind-the-scenes stuff more than the finished product. We know the finished product. See it all the time.
Yeah, but it was meant to be flashy.
Yeah.
I will say that I wish this was more a movie about Freddie Mercury and not Queen. Like it went in more to his personal life and his history. I feel like you could have done a whole movie centered around him and Mary, with Queen being in the background.
I would love a movie about the guitarist. I think he's real interesting.
Brian Mays, the guy
Brian Mays.
who's produced this and made himself seem 1,000 times more interesting than he was in real life.
I think he could produce a hell of a movie about himself. Yes.
All right. Critical. John, you
I'll
want to
go first.
I always
Dave's
like
gonna go
making
first.
John go first.
Yeah, John, wait. Yeah, this is a good pattern we have. John, you go first.
Okay, fine. Information involved, sure. See, I still stand by the fact that I'm judging this on the movie, not anything else.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, and like I said, from moving into that house by himself to the end, was a good movie. They could have just started there. They didn't need the generic like, oh, we're getting band together. Oh, we're doing the studio shit. Oh, we're gonna fight the manager. That was all very generic and bland. The moving into the house, that's like, you know who Queen is, you know who Freddie Mercury is. Would have been a great story, but they fucked up and they added 45 minutes too much. So I'm bringing it down to around about 73.
All right, that seems fair. I agree
That's
with you.
way lower than I was thinking that you were going to get.
Well, I'm a realist. I think Rami Malek was not the greatest. There was a lot of problems. As much as I liked the movie, like the story from that point, I mean, like you said, the teeth were unnaturally big. It's stupidly big. There was chippy points here and there. Oh, by the way, one thing I hated was how he's like, oh, well, Freddie's just going to design this iconic logo in a scrapbook. Bam, there it is. They didn't tell you that he went to school for graphic design. Pieces together
that.
now. Yeah, now it makes sense. But before I was like, get the fuck out of here. But
all right,
there's a lot of holes. That's why it goes down to 73.
I'm just rating on the movie. I actually really like Rami Malek as Freddie. He was, besides the music, he was my favorite part of the movie. I thought he, especially starting in the second act when he gets his house, he really captured the loneliness of someone who was so loved by so many people but felt that he was by himself. The rest of the movie was blasé to okay at best. So I'm giving it a 71.
Wow, okay, cool. I thought I was going to be like such a bad guy, and now it's just par for the course. I will say that scene where he calls her and he's like, turn the light on, turn the light off. Like, shut up. It was this fucking middle school, like...
Well, yeah,
that was so sad.
Netflix
that was so sad.
rom-com.
And then later when he tried to call and she was out on a date, and he just was staring up, I felt
heartbreaking,
so
man.
bad for him.
Oh, that didn't touch me at all because it's so cheesy and dumb. It's like...
Well, because he was cheesy and dumb.
That was something... I think I seen that in a Disney movie of the month back in 2001. Like, let's just fall
Probably,
asleep.
but that's also who Freddie Mercury was, though. Like, he would do shit like that.
I guess so. I had it at 70. I had it at a 75, and now I'm pissed because they betrayed me and they made me cry tears that I shouldn't have cried.
71%.
I went back and I watched the Live Aid concert, and I was like, holy shit.
Me too.
Yes. I will say, anyone who's listened to this and hasn't seen the movie, just go watch the Live Aid concert. It's better than the movie.
Just go watch the real Live Aid concert.
Yeah.
Without the drama building up to it.
One more thing.
The drama's
Sorry.
fake, John.
Wait,
I
a
know,
lie.
but the movies are typically fake, Jimmy. I know.
That's not why this is a biopic.
Maybe
One more
it
thing
is,
I
but
just remembered. Sorry. Another inaccuracy. The Live Aid wasn't doing poorly and Queen saved the day. They were doing great throughout the whole day. Queen has a famous performance from it.
If you thought for a second that was real, that was bullshit.
That was actually annoying. Like they shoehorned in like, oh, now all the phones are ringing. Like, come on, that's not even how fucking Live Aid works. People are gonna watch Queen if they're enjoying it. They're not gonna call and talk in the middle of it.
No, but Queen did put on one of the greatest, if not the greatest, live performances ever at Live Aid.
Yeah, it's awesome. I watched it. The outfits that the rest of the band wears are incredible.
Yeah. And he's doing all this with a broken throat from AIDS.
No.
Imagine that.
No,
he's not.
It's a lie. That's a lie.
No, history's rewritten, man.
No.
Can't go back now.
If you want to watch a good biopic about a musician, go watch Walk the Line.
Or go watch the Dewey Cox story.
That's a good comedy.
But that was a better biopic than this.
This was a great drama movie.
No, it wasn't. You gave it a 73.
For the last 2/3, yes.
I so wish we had held off in the inaccuracies so that you were the highest rated, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm really glad.
It's a killer. It's a killer.
That would have been great.
Finding out that the AIDS was misplaced in timeline, that's a killer.
It's bullshit, man.
Can't believe we're being angry that he wasn't diagnosed with AIDS earlier. We're dicks. That just sounds terrible.
No, I'm angry that they used his diagnosis to play with my feelings.
I am almost positive he already knew, but I don't think he went to the doctors. Oh, and that was another scene that pissed me off. The doctor, he's going down the really depressing hallway, and there's a kid with the AIDS lesion, and he's like, "Hey-oh."
Dude, when he does the "Ew" at Live Aid and Mary,
so cool at Live Aid, though.
and then Mary and his new gay lover, and they're all looking at each other crying, man.
Hell of a moment.
He's going to die soon, and this is so special. Now, none of those looks were taking place. That was a lie.
I mean, I think they were probably still like blown away by the performance.
Probably. There's a different note. I wouldn't have cried.
Yeah. What are you guys pairing with it if you watch it again?
Fucking
Cocaine?
that drink that makes you
That's what
not
I
be able to
wrote.
lie.
Truth
What?
serum?
Truth serum. I'm drinking a fucking vat of truth serum. And I'm spitting a director and the writer's face.
So angry.
I wrote cocaine because it's what Freddie would want.
Absolutely.
All right.
And a Pepsi.
Yes, and a Pepsi. Last
Product
thing,
placement.
Rotten Tomatoes. What do you guys think this movie got?
Critical 73, audience 87.
Gian?
I'm gonna go critical. What do you say? 73.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 68. Audience 90.
So critical was 60. I checked this 2 days ago, so it
Oh,
might be off by a
nice.
point now.
The critics
60.
hated it?
Audience 95.
Fucking losers. They don't know the truth.
They don't know the truth.
Bunch of sheep.
Well, audiences, man, they like a good flashy show. There was a guy in my theater singing to the fucking
Okay,
movie.
but I will say this. Don't you think this, when they were making this movie, they did not intend for it to be audience high, critical low movie?
No.
Because there's certain movies where that's the goal. You're just making a
No,
fun.
I don't.
The director, producers, they wanted to make a critical, good movie that the audience and the critics would both rave about. Like, they were expecting a lot of nominations.
I don't think so.
I think Rami will probably still get a nomination.
I don't think so. No.
Because
No,
the
I
reviews
don't
I
think
have,
he-
I know you guys said you hadn't read any reviews or looked at anything. The consensus I've seen is that the movie is pretty bad, but Rami was really good.
He's good at when he's dancing around the stage. Like that. But him looking in the camera with his buck teeth at the beginning saying, I write music songs. Like, no, that it sucks.
But I think that's how Freddie Mercury was.
Maybe, but it's I like Jimmy said, I couldn't not see Rami Malek. I wasn't watching Freddie Mercury.
Freddie.
I was watching Mr. Robot in the 70s with buck teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I don't. think you should-
Hey, how about what role would Ben Affleck benefit in this movie from?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot
his
to ask
lover
that.
at the end.
No, you're gonna give Ben Affleck the lover?
Yeah, his lover at the end, or
Or Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, their first
Yes.
manager.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
He's a good manager.
yeah.
Definitely. Could you see him as Freddie Mercury?
Let's update our nominees. Is this a better movie than what's the movie that's really
Stars
good?
Born?
Stars Born.
No,
No.
not a chance.
Not even close.
Is a Stars Born still winning all the awards out of the movies we've seen so far?
Unfortunately, yeah. The other front runner for me was going to be First Man, but that fell short.
Yeah,
So,
I'd say A Star is Born, and I'm still hoping for A Quiet Place to get some nomination. Love.
And
that's
Black Panther,
interesting.
of course.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Man, recency bias really comes into play.
I think A Quiet Place will win for sound design. I know that's not a major award, though.
That was such a misplaced release. Why do that in March? Why not do it like for November or October? Get some
Because it's
creepy,
like a
Halloween
genre.
vibe.
It's a genre mixing movie, and I guess they just didn't know.
They just did, I think they didn't realize how big it was going to be.
All right, that's fair.
Maybe they wanted to
That
get
would
it
be
out.
perfect for October.
They wanted to get it out before the Sandra Bullock movie.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, that about sums it up for Bohemian Rhapsody. I bet there's a lot of people that were like saw this and wanted to hear about it, and wanted
We just
wanted
trashed
to
on it.
reiterate how amazing it was and good it was, and well, we apologize. But if that is you, you probably didn't finish this podcast, so you're not even
Sucks to
listening.
suck.
Well, they're on my side. It was a great movie from 2/3 on.
But the 2/3, one of those thirds is just a concert and reenactment.
Still
Which
great.
I'm okay with. Yeah, that was great.
And no, that was only about 9 minutes long.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah,
did
no.
cut out 2 songs.
No, they cut out majority of it. I looked at my watch because I was like I had to go. I was like, oh shit, this is taking longer than I thought it was gonna take, and it took 9 minutes.
Well, all right. Right. Rami didn't sing, right?
No, he did.
That
I
was-
think they
I
remastered
don't think he
it.
did.
I read an interview with him a few months ago where he was like, it's terrifying when Queen is on set and you're singing in front of them.
Oh, so they auto-tune the shit out of it to make it sound like...
Yeah, or at least
Okay.
they may have like piped in Freddie's lyric voice over his,
Fucking
but
Bradley
he was, like,
Cooper
singing
sang.
during.
But he didn't have
Yeah.
to do. And then Joaquin Phoenix sang Johnny Cash and Walk the Line. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Rami sang this, but it's a much harder voice to just kind of like do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and also
true.
he had to dance along with it and be a presence, which those other guys didn't have to.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening. Rate, subscribe, review. Go to Instagram. Go to Twitter. Let us know
At
what
Six Pack Cinema.
Six Pack Cinema. Let us know what you think of this movie. If you feel betrayed or not. If you don't, start feeling some pride in your brain because they fucked with it. See ya.
Also, go see Outlaw King on Netflix.
Nice Netflix. See ya.